The light duelist pack. Yeah, that's something that would be very interesting to see. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out more awesome content. So realistically, we should be heading on into a light duelist pack because I'm pretty sure it's the only one that hasn't gotten anything yet. So what in the world could we actually dump into a duelist pack with this? Because a lot of the things that they try to focus on in these duelist packs are traditionally power-ups for things from the anime. You know, some sort of manga-esque theme or some sort of, this has not had power-ups in a very, very long time. So starting off over here is going to be Luna's Ancient Fairy Dragon. And let's call it what it is at this point in time. You know, the Luna stuff didn't really have much of a theme, but it definitely needs it, all right? And honestly, the Power Tool Dragon got its retrain. Most of the Cyan Dragons have the retrains at this point in time. And Luna is the only one that is missing. So I think our Duelist Pack cover would be Ancient Fairy Dragon, because it's the only one that hasn't gotten it yet. Next up would be Arcana Force. I want Arcana Force. You know, we just got an Animation Chronicle, that weird devil-looking Arcana Force card that was super, super cool. Like, the things that it did, or the things that it attempted to do, were so cool, in my opinion. But Arcana Force, it has always had potential. The Fool is a stupidly good card. I mean, we saw so many stupid ideas that people were trying out that they were just like, hey, check this out. There is so much potential that could be had behind Arcana Force getting power-ups that I would not be surprised to see them actually hit the mark on this and go, hey, you wanted some power-ups? Well, let's see, what we can actually do for the deck here. Next up is Cyber Angels. Now, to be honest with you, I would not be surprised to see Cyber Angels checking the marks here because of Alexis. All right. Also, most of the Cyber Angel stuff was kind of cool. They tried pretty much to get the deck working. Obviously, Ben 10 has been a mainstay in most of the TCG now for a little while, considering the fact that, it literally searches for pretty much everything that you want in a majority of these builds, which, when you think about it at the end of the day, does do some pretty stupid things. Like, Ben 10 is the thing that aims to hold these decks together. So I would not be that shocked to see Konami go, hey, you want some actual Cyber Angel support? I feel like, though, that Cyber Angels did already get some sort of power-ups, so we might be missing out a little bit on that mark. Next up is Cyber Dragons. Hey, Zane has already had a Duelist pack, but Cyber Dragons are the calling of the casual player. Like, I don't think anybody out here would deny more Cyber Dragon support, but it feels like they've been pumping most of the legacy support into Rush Duel at this point. So maybe missing the mark here on Cyber Dragons, but it wouldn't make sense for them to push Cyber Dragons into another Duelist pack unless they know that people want more support. And once again, look around out there. More Cyber Dragon fusions would be very welcome. We do have to kind of bring Cyber Dragons back into the year 2024. Like, they've been struggling out here a little bit too much. All right. And I mean, they do show up every once in a while as a going second option, but they need just a little bit more to kind of put them on the map for sure. And then, of course, we have Ojamas. Seeing what they could do with a Duelist pack, of all things, for Ojama. Obviously, with like the Ojama Simulation and the ABC Dragon Buster cards getting merged with this, there is a possibility that we could see an explosive combo deck merge out, depending on what they could give to Ojamas. Or we could finally see the legendary Pink Ojama that has been missing. All of this is highly possible. All right, you can pull things off the top shelf and go, hey, we can give this a power up. There is a chance to make this work. Oh, yeah, there's always a chance to have some sort of interaction actually matter. Like, that's the thing that makes this game incredibly unique at the end of the day is, we can have this work, and a power-up for Ojama, I think, could actually do that. Also, Manjome Thunder! And then, of course, we have Photon. So, Galaxy Eyes Photon support. Realistically, is that an option? Like, can we give... we already had a core booster pack that had frickin' Photon support built on it. Alright, I don't think that we're going to go after Galaxy Eyes at this point. It doesn't make sense for them to want to dump Photon support into a set and go, hey, I know you guys, you want this, but I think more Cyber Dragon players would be more excited. And I mean, even if you're like a casual player or a competitive player, the Ojama support just feels like it trumps Photon support. You know what I mean? Also, I mean, you've already got to bridge the gap for 2 themes at that point, so that's not exactly something that I think people really want to see, but okay, it's definitely one of the better possibilities, that's for sure. Next up is Silent Monsters, Silent Swordsman and Silent Magician. Now, we just did get 2 retrains for Silent Magician and Silent Swordsman with the release of the new Yugi cards. But having a silent archetype to bring everything together throughout the years of releases would be beautiful. I would love the idea of having all of these different decks from the past actually be viable because of these little niche interactions that we could provide with Silent Monsters. Just 8 cards could do so much, and it would be so cool to see dedicated monsters for the particulars of this. So please, Silence would be fantastic for, receiving some sort of support out here. Like, I would be so happy for that. Next up is our Star Seraphs, and good old stick and chair. The stick and chair interactions are so stupid to me because the fact that you can chain chair on chair and now suddenly, you're getting this free advantage. The thing that stick and chair never really got was like their own Link 3, or excuse me, their own Exceed monster. It would actually be really cool if we could get a Exceed monster for Star Seraph that did have the ability to count itself as a rank 4 that required 3 materials, or count something as a double material, so you could see the stick chair actually interact. It would also be really cool to see some of the other things that they could do, considering stick chair for other interactions for Star Seraph. But Star Seraph would be very interesting to explore the possibility of what we could give them, at least for more light support. Ooh, power-ups. And then we have Trickstar. Well, let's call it what it is at this point in time. If anything, Trickstar is probably one of the most likely candidates on this entire list to receive these power-ups. Strictly because it's Trickstar. All right, like, yeah, I know Blue Angel became, the powerful Marincess duelist that we all saw, and it left a lot to be desired at the end of that because, Trickstar kind of fell off. It'd be really cool if we could find a way to bridge the gap between Trickstar and Marincess and maybe create a card that could be used in both decks. That would be a good homage to something. We did it with gems, all right? Remember Gem Knights and some of the other little ideas that they tried to merge into that? Just food for thought, all right? Anything is incredibly possible at that point, but Trickstar, probably a better Link 1 would help the deck, but that definitely does check my list of things that would be worth keeping an eye on, 100% sure. And then last but not least is Utopia. Utopia had a full dedicated structure deck to itself, and it was so cool, but it ended up missing a lot more of the competitive mark than I think people really wanted to see it do its thing. And that's kind of like the shame out of Utopia, was it had its time. All right, it was so good. Another Duelist pack would be a nice chance to kind of bring it back together, but I don't think they're going to do it. I think Utopia falls off because it's already had its support. All right, so kind of keep this in mind, that those are all the check marks of support that I think that we could see for this when we do cross it into the Light Duels pack. So What do you guys think? Please, comment down below, tell me what you guys think, and I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today, guys. Peace.
Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.